This is the fun throwaway episode, so if you don't want to listen to this or you just are like, what are you talking about? It's fine, I don't mind if you don't listen or watch this episode. It's kind of just, I want to talk about this thing. And, I have the ability to film whenever I want to, record whenever I want to. So, you know, I'm gonna do it. Question mark? Yeah, is that okay? Of course it's okay. It's my podcast. Yay. So, for some reason, okay. So on TikTok, there is this trend that is going on at the moment, where in which people who watched a kids' TV show called The Next Step will talk about how ridiculous it is and how it is well and truly gone off the rails. It has gone a little bit cuckoo crazy pants, and I want to talk about it because it is just so cackle. It is crazy, it's weird, it's wonderful, and we love it because it is unique, to say the least. And also, I watched I watched a TikTok of there's a character called Eldon, and his acting, like the person who is acting him, Isaac Lupian, he was actually pretty good to begin with, but then because obviously the show had to be very kid friendly, and because he was getting older, he becomes so much of a caricature of himself. It's quite laughable in a lot of ways, and yeah, no, I can't explain it. I don't think without it kind of you need to see it. Okay, so for anyone who's like, the fuck is the next step? What are you talking about? It's this Canadian show about a group of dancers, just learning dance, like people who are learning I don't know how to explain it, dancers who are preparing for a competition every season or so, and they get up to some antics. And season one was quite grounded in reality. Season two gets a little bit more cuckoo. Season three is kind of like, this show is it's a little bit weird. Season four, it kind of gets a little bit shit. Season five is just hanging on for dear life. Season six, my favourite season. I love how we went from series to season. Season six, I would say, is the renaissance of the next step. Season seven, pile of dog crap. Season eight, can't watch it. Season 9 is actually okay. I understand where it's going. And season 10 is not out yet. But sorry, pardon me, I choked on my spit. Season 10 is the last season, thankfully, because I don't think I could actually watch any more of it without feeling as though I'm just trying to cling on to the last little threads of my childhood, So it ran in the UK. It started in the UK in April of 2014, and I remember this because actually I was staying with my grandparents with my mum, and I think my sister too. And it was really weird. And I remember watching, I saw it on their iPlayer thing because they had Virgin at the time, Virgin Media or whatever it's called, and I couldn't watch it, so I remember coming home and I was watching it and I really was liking it. And then my sister kind of got into it, but then I started obsessing over it. It became my special interest. Yeah, no, I've been watching it pretty much the entire time it's been in syndication or being shown stuff. And yeah, it was produced by Family Channel to start off with, but CBBC, which is the kids version of the BBC, actually executive produced season 9, and I'm pretty sure season 10. I'm going to be saying series and season interchangeably, but they are essentially the same thing, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, we're just gonna be talking shit for half an hour or so. So Yeah, or whenever I've just like absolutely had enough. So, as customary for my podcast, because you know I love to talk about myself, I'm going to talk about my own life. So, this is actually, I think, going up on the day of upload. So, hi, happy Tuesday. I hope you liked the last, and I hope you liked the. 1 second. I have to check on YouTube Studio because I have to upload them manually. I hope you liked the Shinwa episode. I don't know when I recorded it, but I know I did. I do it so far in advance now that I actually don't know what I talk about. And I actually recorded for 30 minutes and I had to cut out 12 minutes of just me bullshitting. Yeah. So currently in my life, my sister's friend from uni is coming over to stay for a few days. And so because our bathroom is mouldy, you know, as bathrooms are. My parents tried to get rid of all the mold, so they got some spray from the place my sister works, and they sprayed it all on the thing, and it like kind of gassed out the bathroom for a little bit, but it was fine. You know, it was able to be aired out, and it's okay-ish now, or at least it was okay. And then my dad was like, you know what would be a good idea? Spray painting white onto the ceiling. And my mum was like, no, please don't do that. But you know what my dad does? He goes and does it. And now the bathroom stinks of like, it really, it smells like really heavily of paint. You know, like paint, it smells kind of bad, but it's like okay. But when it's like a very heavy, deep, strong, intense smell, and it gave him a headache. And he actually had to go at me just now, actually, before they went out. So I said to him, "Oh, you need some lunch then?" And he was like, "No, I don't. I don't need to eat, Sophie. Stop telling me I need to eat." So I'm like, "Okay, I guess you don't need to eat." Okay, I think you do. But no, I thought it was really funny how, like, he was really getting annoyed at me for saying that he needs to eat. And I'm like, you always have a go at us for, like, when we have a rat on, and yet you are doing the exact same thing, Dad. But no, it's fine, it's all in jest. So, yeah, that's what's going on today. And tomorrow, so on Wednesday the 5th, I'm getting my nose pierced. So, funny backstory about this is that a few weeks ago, before my mum really got her cold, I like went up to her and I was like, "Okay, so mum, I'm gonna book an ear pit and my nose piercing appointment," and she was like, "What? Pourquoi? Pourquoi? What are you talking about, Sophie?" And I was kind of like joking, but like I kind of have always dabbled in the idea of getting another piercing. So I'm like, well, it would be fun. You know, you only live once, and you know, you can always take it out. And it's like it's a fun thing to kind of be like when I'm older. I'm like, oh yeah, I got my nose pierced when I was younger. And it's like, it's one of those things where I'm just like, it's okay if I don't like it because it's not that much money. And I already have my ears pierced anyway, and I'll probably continue to have them pierced for the rest of my life. But I don't think I'll necessarily have my nose pierced for the rest of my life. Like maybe by the time I'm like 35, I'll kind of be like, I'm actually done with having a nose piercing, so I can take it out. It's not like a tattoo where in which I'm like, I hate this, but it's on my body for the rest of my life. Like, I can take a nose piercing out and it's fine. And my dad is like, he's like trying to say the supportive things, but deep down inside, he actually hates the idea. And my mum is like, she originally was like, I don't care. You do whatever you want to. You're 21, Sophie. You can get your nose pierced if you want to. And I happened to have been watching, this was last night, happened to have been watching like videos about nose piercings and kind of like just doing cursory research, you know, what you tend to do when you're a bit nervous about something. You research it, so then you're kind of getting used to it. And my mum was like, Sophie, like let's watch someone getting it done. And I was watching it. So this is like quick trigger warning just for like 30 seconds. I don't know. Maybe like you probably skip this section anyway because I'm talking about it, but like just be mindful. Maybe if you're listening with someone else who's like okay with it, just get them to nudge you when it's over. So I was watching the video and it's obviously like the piercer has a needle and it's kind of similar to like a needle that you get for like injections and stuff. And they obviously like put it in and they have to like obviously go and get the thing that you're getting like the earring and stuff. They're putting, not the earring, but like, you know what I mean, like a nose ring or something. And so they have like the piercing needle in their nose. And my mum, like, I'm just sitting here and my mum's sitting on the computer, and she's like, Sophie, I really don't think that you should go through with this. Like, it's actually making me really upset. Hi, people who came back from the trigger warning. And she was like, no, Sophie, like, just kiss off a 15 quid. I will give you 15 quid. It's okay. Like, you don't have to go through with this if you don't want to. And I'm like, well, I already agreed to it. I paid the money, and you know, it is just for fun. It's meant to be like I'm getting my nose pierced. Oh, 1 second, I'm gonna have to go in. Did that work? I just tried out the new pause speech just now to go and get a parcel for my sister from the door. I don't know if that worked or not. And where was I? Yeah, I was talking to my mum about it, and she was like, I'm actually getting really upset now about this. I will give you the 15 quid. It's okay. You don't have to go through the appointment. And I was like, I will admit, seeing it properly, I am a little bit like, now, shit. This is like proper full on serious right now. I'm gonna get my nose pierced tomorrow. And I'm going to my support group afterwards. Which is like the hilarious thing. But yeah, you know, I'm a little bit now like, oh. But I'm not as nervous as clearly as my mother is. Or at least I'm not as concerned as my mother is. And it's like it's an understandable like worry thing. Because it's like your kid, obviously. And it's like I'm her youngest, you know, obviously it's only two of us, but like I'm her child. I'm her baby. And she's like, no, Sophie, please don't go and get it. And I'm like, I'm gonna go get it. And there's quite a lot of times when you can just like walk in and go and get a nose piercing done. So it's like I could have realistically gone in and just gone and done it and just not told her and then had her like reaction just you know, I've done it now. You can't tell me no. But considering it's been time, and now she's like, Sophie, please don't do this. I'm now just like, well, I booked the appointment now, so sorry. Love you. But I think she's just more or less just resigned herself to the fact, and she's like, I don't care. Or at least I care, but I'm not gonna tell her no because she is a 21-year-old woman and she can make her own choices. It's like how literally she told my mum told my sister even, sorry, I'll bring a coat. And my sister was like, well, I'm 25. I think I know when I'm cold or not. So like, yeah. It was like the other day, me and my mum were walking across the river, walking by the river, and I thought it was going to be like 8 degrees. So I was like, I'm going to wear like a nice like hoodie, sweatshirt thing, and like a coat that's not like too thick. No, it was like 2 degrees, and it didn't end up getting to the temperature I think it was meant to. So I was just cold. I was like nippy. It was horrible. And like it's just at the end of the day, you know, it's just like life experiences, and I didn't know, and that's okay, because you know what, life, you're meant to like experience life to be able to do what you do. Okay. I love how that was meant to be like a couple of minutes, but yeah, it's been 10 minutes since I started the section about me. So, the next step. So, obviously, I started watching the next step since pretty much the entire series started. The only season I've not watched is like season 8, because it's because they like they did regionals and then they were like, I don't know if I want to do nationals, I want to go on Dance Mania. And so they do Dance Mania, and then like they get pissed off at the fact that B Troop, I'm saying this like as though you know anything that I'm talking about, and then they get pissed off that B Troop has like taken their mantle and is like, we're going to nationals. And like when I watched it, I was like, I'm absolutely not watching the ninth series if it's going to be like that. So they ended up like yeah, so I watched like I yeah, and so I watched like the first kind of like the first ish half of series 9, And then like they obviously were doing like Step Inside, which was like their professional dance troupe. And then they're all like, "Yeah, we're professional dancers now." And so I was like, fine, whatever. And I watched a little bit of like the second half of series 8, and I was like, I can't watch this. This is just bollocks. And so I watched, yeah, so I watched that, and I watched two, yeah, I don't think I watched the end bit. And then it got to series 9, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll watch it. So I didn't. I actually ended up really enjoying it, mainly because of the fact that like the characters didn't annoy me too much, except from Anthony, I think his name is. I don't know why, but Girly Pop, like, he overacts. I'm sorry, but he overacts, and it's actually infuriating. And, like, I try and be supportive, but, like, I don't know if it's just necessarily him. I don't think it is him, but, like, the writing is not, it's not it. I'm sorry, but it's just not. It's not the time, it's not the place, it's just you're trying a little bit too much. Like, it's actually infuriating, and it makes me feel a little bit nauseous. Yeah, I really did actually enjoy series 9, particularly Pascal. I loved her. She was like doing the most, but also doing the least. She was just doing the right amount, and also I really wanted her and Heath to get together because I think they would actually be cute. But apparently, like, I was watching another video of her, like, in an interview style thing, and she actually doesn't have that much. She doesn't have a French accent at all. She just happened to come from Quebec, which is like the French province thing. I don't entirely know what the terminology is in Canada, but she comes from like the part of Canada that's got a lot more French people, so she can put on, she can have like a French accent when she talks if she wants to. And yeah, I thought that it was a good. Sorry, I'm just reading. Oh well, oh well. Yeah, I was just reading like the information. I was like, oh yeah, those people don't appear. Yeah. So yeah, it actually aired pretty all close together. Like all of the first part of the season, all of it got released at the same time, and then like episodes kept on being released every week. 2 episodes at the same time each Friday for 4 weeks. And, yeah, I actually really enjoyed that, and it I don't know, I just carried on watching it. Yeah. So apparently, like, most of the episode titles are like to do with the dance terminology. Season from 9. So like Count Me In. So like dance counts. Tutu, like the skirt that dancers wear. The bar, which is like the thing that they hold to do the stretches. I know my dance. The funny thing is I'm just chatting shit. I'm not. This isn't even like a funny episode. I'm just chatting shit. When I was younger, I actually used to be forced to watch. I say it like as though I wasn't just in the room and I couldn't go off and do something else. But I was forced to watch Strictly Come Dancing as a kid, and I think it was mainly because of the fact that they had nice dresses on it, and also we wanted to hear the bitching from the judges. Because like Len Goodman, who was like the head judge for a very long time, and he's passed away now. He used to be like really, really harsh. And there was one time when a singer called Pixie Lott went on the show, and she like actually bit back against Len, and she got kicked out. So there was quite a lot of discourse about that, thinking that obviously it's all fixed. And I'm like, well, yeah, most TV shows are fixed. Like those sorts of shows are fixed. So yeah, and obviously when I was younger, I used to think that that was the only kind of dance thing, like that was the only dance style that you could do. I didn't actually know that there were like different styles of dance, like contemporary and like hip hop and ballet and stuff. I thought it was only the type of dance, like ballroom dancing. I thought that was the only type of dancing that you did. So I was like very, very confused when the showman came along. But yeah, no, I really did enjoy it. There were like a few instances where I was like now looking back, I'm like, WTF? Like, what the fuck? Like, especially because like there's this famous, like famous moment, extremely famous moment. It was from the first ever episode, and it was of a character called Michelle. She walks in and is like, the auditions are in here, right? And like so many people have like parodied it. I can't speak, parod- made fun of it over the years and like recreated it. But the thing is that honestly, if that happened, I was a dance teacher, which I'm not. I was a dance teacher, and someone came in who clearly wasn't supposed to be there and was like, "The auditions are in here, right?" I'd just be like, "Get out." Honestly, I would just be like, "No, no, clearly not." You know, all these dancers that are like, all these people who are in like dance clothes are just standing around. They're not auditioning at all. I'll just be like, go back outside, change your attitude, come in quietly, pull us aside when we're clearly not talking to someone and be like, hi, excuse me, are these the auditions for like a troupe? Like, I'm Michelle, I'm like here to audition. Is this like the correct place? And if they're like, oh yeah, we're there to auditions, like it would be fine. But it's the fact that she comes in and she's like, the auditions are in here, right? I'm like, oh. I love how I was younger, I was like oblivious to like the rudeness of that, but now I'm just like, that was a little bit that was a little bit too much. Like, no. And like in the third season, another one of the characters called West, he got food poisoning, was throwing up multiple times in an hour, and then still was able to go on stage and perform. I'm sorry, what? And obviously, like the TV show at the time, like two of the people were actually injured. So Amanda, she actually, the person who played Amanda, she had a back injury. And the person who played Michelle had actually broken her foot shortly before the filming for season 3 started. So they weren't really able to dance much. And like Amanda was kind of able to, but Michelle just didn't do any dancing. And Michelle was actually supposed to go on stage and like do the performance and was like ready to go, and then West came in and was like, oh, I'm better, I can do the dance. And like the studio head and Miss Kate, like, I'm sorry, if I was the studio head, I'm like, mate, you're sick, like, no, you're doing too much, like, no, absolutely not. And like in reality, you do actually have a lot more like backup people, and like dance competitions don't actually work like that, and it's a lot more controlled of like, you do this, you do this, you do that, you don't do this, to make sure that dancers don't fall ill like that. It's like, it's obviously meant to be like a children's TV program, and I do actually still like the show even though I'm dunking on it so much. It's just like strange little moments like that where I'm like, interesting. I'd like to make a follow-up episode actually, where in which I'm just listing off all of the strange shit that just keeps on happening in the show, especially after like this the 10th season comes out later this year or whenever it's coming out. Because I have so much tea. I have like so much tea. One last point actually. Another character called Emily. She actually injures her knee during like the semi-finals routine of the nationals competition. And like I think obviously because it doesn't actually say it, I think what it was supposed to be like is like she tore her ACL, right? And like obviously when we come back for the third season, it's been time, and like she ends up going for a checkup at the doctor's just before the international auditions happen, and the doctor's like, no, you can't do the thing, like it has to be like, you probably can't dance for another 9 to 12 months. And like from my knowledge of knee injuries that have like kind of come up since this point, it does seem very consistent with an ACL injury, given the time frame of the recovery period and how it seemed when she was injured and couldn't dance for the final. I love how I'm just like how like much information I've somehow gained over these like past like 10 years since the show's been on. But yeah, no, it was pretty bad from what it was kind of seeming. And if I was Miss K, which is like the studio owner, I would have been like, no, you're not dancing. Like, picture in picture mode closed to maintain. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's talking about, but okay. Yeah, no, I feel like Miss Kate was just kind of stupid. Like we say that Miss Kate, like fans say like, oh yeah, Miss Kate's like so cool, but I'm like, Miss Kate doesn't know shit about what's going on in her actual studio. Like, no, there was like actual bullying going on. You let Emily control basically everything, and you were like, oh my god, Emily's like the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like, I don't know. I'm seeing the bullshit. I'm seeing the bullshit right now. Like, I don't believe it. No. I can think of about 5 different other people that should have been dance captain over Emily. So, nice try, but no cigar. It's a common saying in England. So yeah, no, that was just like a random throwaway episode all about the next step. If you want to watch it, pretty much all the episodes I think are online, or at least the earlier seasons are. And that's how I sometimes watch it when it's not on the BBC iPlayer. I'm sure that you can find it if you're in America. I'm sure you can find it on some old streaming service. I don't know. I don't keep track of it. I'm sure it's on Netflix somewhere. But if not, you can always use a VPN, not sponsored. They're pretty good. Just select it to whatever country you want to watch and then you can watch it. They're not too expensive. You can also get it on for free for like 30 days, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I did use Surfshark for a while, but to be fair, it just never really worked for me. It didn't really do what I wanted it to do for me. Yeah, I think it's because of the fact that I live in the countryside and we're not really able to get the connection that well, unfortunately. So I know that's my little 2 cents about VPNs. Virtual private networks, if you wanted to know what that stands for. But yeah, no, that's been about the next step. Fun little bonus episode for you. I'm just gonna do like random episodes every now and then. Or like probably every week of just like a random day where I just start chatting shit about whatever. You don't have to listen if you don't want to. No pressure over here. I'm here to do anything. But if you want to, then that's cool. Just do whatever you want to do. If you want to like, if you want to follow, if you want to subscribe, if you want to comment, just do whatever. I don't mind. I just do whatever I want to. I'm not being paid to do this, so I just do it whenever. But yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I will talk to you again sometime in the future. My next episode that will come out after this, that is being recently recorded, will be out in April, if that makes any sense. I always try and like tell the day whenever I'm recording, so the next time you hear a recording in March, it will be April, which makes no sense whatsoever. But I think you understand what I mean. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you as always for listening, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.